Well, oh man, let's see if I remember how you say it. Oh yeah, well we gotta do the names first. That's right. Okay.
This is awesome.
All right. I'm Matthew.
I'm Marty.
I'm Carlos.
And I'm Josh.
And we are the Heroes 3 plus Josh.
And Josh.
Welcome. And Josh, featuring Josh. Welcome to Heroes 3, the bi-weekly podcast. It will be, I promise. Where three friends explore the best, worst, and everything in between in the world of Asian cinema. And we are back after a long break because of a lot of weird things, but we are back. And this week I am extremely excited because, like we do every year, or try to do every year, we are coming back with some animated shorts. And this week we are looking at 4 shorts since we have 4 people on the show. And that is going to be Schrikoa, Indian short from 2016. Nobody, or Yao Chinese Folktales, Episode 1, Nobody is the full name, from Shanghai Animation Film Studio from 2024. Kakurenbo, Hide and Seek from Japan in 2005. And finally, In the Shadow of the Cypress from Iran in 2024. So traveling the world and going into West Asia again, which we don't do too often. So that's going to be a fun treat.
Man, yeah, we're here. We're doing it again. I'm super excited, and it's been a long road to get to this episode, but I am thankful for you guys, thankful for our listeners, and Josh too. Yeah, thanks for joining us today. I know that you have a great passion for animation, and it's been a long time coming to have you on to talk about our.
And we were too
shorts.
scared to come back without you, Josh.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I would say I have I'm frequently abused by animation, so I'm always happy to revel in that.
The love and hate of it all. Yeah. It's
Although distinct lack of cute boys in these shorts, so that is a little different from.
Well, it depends how cute you find masks. And
I was gonna say
whales and stuff.
I do have something to say about that.
Oh boy! Oh, amazing! Never mind. Love it.
I mean, it's no riding bean, you know what I mean? But I do have a little something to
but
say about
no. But who is Yeah?
But there's still riding bean inertia. It wasn't that long ago, right? We're still coasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first short that we're going to do is my pick, which is Schrikoa by Isan from 2016 in India. And this one is a CG short that is about this, dystopian world where everyone wears bags over their head to hide whether or not people are the immigrants, which are these, demon kind of creatures that are supposedly infiltrating society, and follows this one baghead who is a senator, I think they say.
Yeah.
And he's kind of going through the society, and turns out that he is himself an immigrant, and it causes a bunch of serious issues. I think it's a little weird and vague, but it looks cool. And it's CG animation out of India, and a lot of CG animation out of India, especially in the 2010s, does not look anywhere close to this good. So it was definitely a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, really strong point of view, and quite rare for a short of this length. It is actually broken up into chapters.
4 of them, I think.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
4 chapters in 15 minutes.
Yeah, and it sounded like maybe initially the director had aspirations for raising funds to develop a series or something. But I don't know. For me, I like this kind of high concept, soft science fiction thing, in this kind of size package where it gets to kind of stay abstract and we don't really need to tie the rules down all that much. But,
yeah, I think this would kind of fall apart if you try to make a 90-minute movie about it, which I think they did.
I was like, you're bearing the lead here, but I think there's a feature film based on this
what
idea.
idiot would ever try to stretch this out?
I do think there is. It's just the only thing I found was an IMDb page that had bad reviews, but I couldn't find like anything about the movie. Which was a little weird. So
yeah, the thing about
so because the short was like quite acclaimed. Like it had a really good like festival run, I think.
Yeah, and the director here, Isan Shukla, he's worked in animation. This short that we're talking about seems to be like his kind of breakout animation, but he's gone on to kind of grow exponentially. One of the things that I did notice is that there's that Star Wars Visions like anthology series. He's directed episode from season 2 that I actually had heard about, and actually this is I'm not trying to talk shit, but the reason that I know about this is because there's a fight, like a Jedi fight in that episode. Of course there is, but I saw that on social media because they were accusing them of stealing from like kind of a previs from like an indie like stunt team, and they did like on a side by side, and it is pretty obvious that it's the same like choreography, same ideas, but that's how I had heard about it, and it was really not more than maybe like 4 or 5 months ago that I saw that. But yeah, that was in 2023, and then in 2024 there is the Schirkoa in Lies We Trust, which seems to be a featured adaptation of the short, and I don't know, I haven't seen it, and actually that's not the first time we're going to be talking about taking a short and adapting it into a feature, but I thought, I kind of saw a bit of charm in how crude everything looked, and there's like a little bit of a kind of a cell shading going on with
there's
this
kind of like harder stroke kind of around it, almost like sort of Borderlands kind of
sure
language or something.
Yeah. And there's a, like kind of a really gritty kind of atmosphere to everything. It really leans in on the theme that we're seeing here, which, I mean, honestly, when we see themes like this, I mean, it's sad to say how resonant things are. But readily available. We watched this. You shared it with us on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
So we're definitely gonna link to it in the show notes. So yeah, please, if you're interested, check it out. It's pretty easy to find. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was interesting. It definitely felt to me like something like maybe from like an early 2000s. Like just like
right
hard edge, kind of trying to get a message across, and using animation in a crude way to really kind of accent the, like, I guess the style of the story that you're trying to convey. And I think it was pretty successful there. And I was curious, when you see something like this where they're human figures, but in a 3D space, but then they all have bags over their heads. I was like, are they just, they couldn't really model people, but later on you do see like people's faces modeled. So I was like, oh, okay.
And it's a striking silhouette though, like the kind of lanky, bag-headed folks.
Yeah.
It's like you could imagine this getting kind of cut up a little bit and used as fodder for like a early 2000s, I don't know, like UK techno video or something.
Yes.
Kind of, yeah.
Cutting it down to 3 minutes and making it into a music video, I totally could see something like that.
Sorry, I just had to look because before I lose my train of thought, Carlos, you said that the director of this directed a Star Wars Vision short, and then I was like, oh, well, if it's India, it must have been the 88 Pictures episode. That was our vendor studio for seasons 2 and 3 of Transformers Earthspark. So we worked with that studio. Small world.
Wow.
Super cool. There's about
That's
9
crazy.
guys. There's about 9 people in animation worldwide. So.
How crazy.
Yeah,
so Josh is like recusing himself for the rest of the episode.
Yeah. But I love a thing like that where it's like, okay, anthology series where different artists can take on these ideas, and having like a very Indian themed kind of Star Wars story was cool. I love that. I did watch it in preparation for the podcast. But yeah, I mean, give me all of those. I want Mariachi Jedi. I want all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
But yeah, and then so I mean, moving forward, there's the Bahubali like animated
like an anime Bahubali.
and
the same guy.
That's the same director. And if you're looking at like just snapshots of any of these features, you can see that there's a lot of growth visually and stylistically. So it's really exciting to see an artist's work in different frames here, and I'm super excited for that. It looks really good. It's got like that kind of, I guess, like arcane, like this digital paint, like 3D model characters
definitely.
that looks really pretty. And I mean, the teaser that exists is a really like kind of like a fight sequence, and there's some really dynamic
wacky
animation going on there. But yeah,
Bahubali is already like a cartoon in some
totally.
ways, so it does feel like a natural extension.
I hope it's not like a 3-hour long computer animated feature for the sake of the artists. I hope that's not the case.
I do hope there are musical numbers though.
Yeah, me too. That'd be amazing. Cool. Yeah, no, thanks for bringing this today.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I dug into I always try to dig into animation from because obviously we know lots of animation from Japan. It's a lot of incredible stuff, obviously for decades from there. So I always like digging into other places, and India's really been kicking it up in the last 10 to 20 years. So it's cool to see stuff like this.
Yeah, and I go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna. I was gonna be like the dissenting voice. I didn't really like this short
Please.
very much.
Oh no, go for it.
Go for it.
Please.
Well, I'll start with what I did like about it. I thought that it had some really ambitious camera work, which I thought was nice. And I would say, by and large, all of the ambitious camera work I thought was pretty effective. Of the 4 movies that we saw, I think that this one must use the most like pre-made assets. Just based on things like the way the models are rigged, that kind of thing, and it seems like they. This is a compliment. It seems like they did a lot with the limitations of like pre-mades in a way that I think was pretty cool to see. Narratively, I didn't like it at all.
Fair.
When there was chapters, I was like, this movie's 13 minutes long. Just play the movie. Like, you don't need to break it up. It was like it was just, I guess, not really my taste. I thought it was a little, like, I don't want to say cringe. That seems too mean, but like, it was just a little broad in a way that I didn't.
It sounds like you might not have picked up on the subtle.
I think you know what? I think it went right over my head. So I, like, of the 4, this was my least favorite, but I do want to commend, like, especially the animators. I mean, they really got a lot of actually some pretty decent animation out of what looked to be like pre-built rigs to me. They did really use the camera in a way that was effective. So, like, it's not, I don't want to say it's a valueless movie at all, but yeah.
No, I guess shows that I don't love this, but it's very interesting to me, and there's a lot more to it it's weird, and it's also weird. There's like there's voice in it, which is an English voiceover by Keira Buckland, who does 2B in Nier Automata.
Like, wait a second.
Which whenever I heard the voice, I was like, this is an extremely anime voice for this. So that was interesting.
I mean, and a lot of that just feels very in keeping with like so much Indian cinema of the last too many years. Honestly, I know we've talked about this a little bit. It's like I'm glad there are so many eyeballs on so many like Bollywood and Tollywood movies, but I don't know. I kind of think we're living through at times a pretty excruciating low point, and I hope we can kind of get through it. And it's just that I mean, there's a kind of stereotype in some circles that say Bollywood cinema, it's like it's always kind of playing to kind of like a lowest common denominator. They're like explaining the plot 3 times before Netflix came up with the idea or whatever. But but I don't know. There's a way in which I don't know. Some of that stuff is just pretty naked these days. And I think this short honestly nix all of the voiceover altogether. Again,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even if it's
Mm-hmm.
not a straight music video, just maybe do something that's like a little more music forward. Like we'll catch what you're doing and maybe even lean in a little bit. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then
Be
like you're
vaguer.
saying, Josh, the chapters sort of feel like you and your siblings making your first movie or whatever, and you have like 4 production company logos in the beginning.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't think necessarily this is like a pretentious feature, but like the
No.
chapters are pretentious, and I'm like, man, just play the movie. It's not worth
Yeah.
that.
I would
Totally.
say similarly when we're looking at like mainland China stuff. Like a lot of these big, huge movies are in a lot of ways a reflection of like big Hollywood films too. And there's these really broad strokes, and there's a lot of money behind them. So maybe some of the movie looks pretty, but it turns into this kind of big, shiny thing. And
yeah, I think the only thing we would be, or I'll just speak for myself, be kind of disappointed in. It's not like, oh, here's a populist movie that's for everyone. Like that's amazing. But we have a rich history of movies like that from every like corner of the planet that aren't like so nakedly like kind of low. I don't know, low serving. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to like dog on this movie because I did like a lot of the like just a lot of the composition and like some of the imagery was really sticking. But yeah, anyways, something to talk about.
你在这儿干什么？没什么，没什么，我就是撒尿路过。你给我站住！
The short that I brought is really, I mean, I was very excited about it, but it's also kind of a signal to me about like animation coming out of China, which I mean for a long time, besides of like a flash here and there wasn't really anything that we could really get excited about. But in the last handful of years, it's kind of really gone crazy. And today I brought us it's a short in an anthology series called Yao Chinese Folktales, and episode 1 is called Nobody, and it's by Yu Shui, and it's by the Shanghai Animation Film Studio. And there's like I think 9 episodes of this, and I do feel like Nobody's the strongest for me, and I really fell in love with it. But then they would go on to develop this short into a feature film, and I was waiting so long to see it, and I finally did. And Josh, I remember you were able to see it before I did, and I was like so excited. And yeah, so this is a really kind of heartfelt, cute story about this little boar that is they're taking like the Journey to the West story, but they're kind of throwing you into the point of view of like a bystander, and it's it really hit me. It was
it's
so
like
awesome.
The Life of Brian of Journey to the West or something.
That's
I
exactly
exactly thought of Life of Brian at the beginning. Yeah,
it's so true. Yep. So there's this little boar. He's a soldier in the king's army, and what you find out is he's being put to task helping to kind of prepare a set of traps. And what they're doing is they want to take down Tang Sangzang, the longevity monk, alongside Sun Wukong and the crew. And this little boar is just hearing about these characters for the first time. And as the short plays out, he's taken with this story. At first he thinks these are like kind of human warriors that are going to be fighting this monster army, because him and his little army, they're all different types of monsters. There's a frog and like kind of a, I don't know, a raven kind of looking stork guy, and there's tigers and bears and all that. But you get the sense that he really wants to do good, but he's kind of put in the midst of these kind of troublemakers. And in the end, his kind of goodwill and his good nature is like rewarded, and he has like a small moment of courage, and he's spared the fate of being in the path of Sun Wukong. And it's traditionally animated. It's not CG. A lot of these major works from China lately have been computer animated, and some of those are really good too. Zhang Ziya is something I really liked, and I did watch Neja 2. Neja 1 I thought was okay, and then it did amazingly. I mean, these movies are making tons of money. They're these kind of huge success stories out of mainland China in regards to animation. But Nobody being adapted into a feature was also a great success story. And I think it does kind of signal like to the heart of what the story is. And I did really enjoy the featured film. And Josh, honestly, I'm curious to know how you feel about now that you've seen both of these. But I kind of feel like I saw the short first. I really love the short. I kind of put it above the feature in a little bit.
Yeah, I also really liked the short. I mean, so I saw this movie, just for like some context, I saw the feature of Nobody at every year in Los Angeles. There's an animation film festival in October. So it's a great chance to see world animation before it gets like a theatrical release. So when I saw Nobody, I saw it alongside the new Mamoru Hosoda film, the latest one. So that is one of the benefits to paying the rent prices that I pay, is that there's an animation festival nearby. So I was completely unfamiliar with the movie because you're offered a selection of movies, and typically I'll find ones that are appealing at first glance. Like I did All You Need Is Kill, right? For that reason, I was like, that looks incredible. And Nobody was sort of like the last one that I chose, because I'm like, I see little animals, they look fun, I love that. And by far, like, Nobody ended up being my favorite feature that I saw that weekend.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah, I won't speak too much on the feature because we're talking about the short, but like it was, it's so all the characters, and I guess what I want to say is like the DNA between the feature and the short is so maintained. I guess like there are they reuse some of the scenes from the short, or they like upcycle some of the scenes in the short for the movie, like they make them longer, or they recontextualize them. And I just love this little pig so much.
Yeah, he's the best.
I was thrilled that because it's also in the movie where they use the scene where they have the scene where they like scrub the pot with the bristles on his back, and I was so glad that they kept that in, or that was in the short, and they used it for the feature, because that was one of the funniest moments for me. I think this is so fun. I love how it looks. I also want to try the monk flesh. They keep talking about the monk flesh. I would like a sample of the monk flesh. A real highlight, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. What did you guys think of it?
I really enjoyed it. It's funny. Carlos mentioned the short, not too long, I don't know, a few years ago, probably not too long after it came out. And for some reason, I just never got around to watching it, so I'm glad this forced me to finally watch it.
Oh, nice!
I definitely wanted to watch the feature. And actually, about the him getting scrubby on the pot, I have a beard brush that's made with boar hair, and it's really nice.
Wow,
it's really nice. So
you're
when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, that'll get in there for sure. Lived experience.
Amazing.
But no, I loved it, and I love how like there's like the storyteller in town that's like describing like Sun Wukong and this party, and then it like the vision of what it is in his head changing as he learns more about the characters, and also I love that it's this is a Shanghai animation production, and so they're the same people that did Havoc in Heaven back in the 60s, and their little logo at the beginning has the little Monkey King from that. And I was like, hey, there's my guy.
Yeah, so cute.
And also, I was really glad that it was most animated shorts tend to be dour in general. And so it was kind of nice to have one that was pretty light for the most part, and the it kind of has a fake out where you think it's going to be dour, and then it turns out it's actually nice. So that was kind of nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I don't know, the visual language of this thing is, yeah, just gorgeous. Love that. I don't know, the backgrounds are painterly, but not in kind of the, sort of Western Disney tradition, but just very reminiscent of Chinese and older Japanese paintings that I think a lot of folks might be able to kind of conjure in their minds. And then, yeah, just these character designs are so special, really stick with you. And I don't know, loved everything about it visually. One thing I'd be curious about would actually, it's like a minor thing, but I yet to see the feature, but I kind of want to see what the caliber of the subtitles are compared to the short. Like this kind of took me back to, like, the days of like trading tapes and VCDs and
totally.
And that kind of thing. Especially love that, like, everything is about like the metric system and this, like,
yes, I love
medieval.
I loved that.
Like, pre-European influence story. Thought that was awesome.
Yeah, we should say too, this is also available on YouTube. This is on the Bilibili YouTube channel, which is like Chinese.
It's kind of like Chinese YouTube.
And it's so funny. I was subbed to that channel for a time, but they put out so much stuff I had to unsub it. I was like, there's way too much stuff, like, every day.
I remember a couple years ago trying to find animated stuff, and I found a couple of really good ones on the Bilibili channel. I was like, oh, cool. I wonder if they're like an animation thing. And they're like, oh, no, they're kind of just YouTube.
Yeah.
So they're kind of just reposting YouTube.
Yep. And the thing, too, is that I said this is an anthology series, so there's like 9 of them. They announced that there's going to be a sequel anthology series coming out by the same team. Ooh. So I'm excited for that, especially coming off of the success of this film, the film version. But yeah, oh man, I'm so glad you guys liked it. I figured you would. It was one of these things that once I saw it, I was like, I need to send this to every single person that I think may enjoy it, because I love it so much.
All right, and we're back from a little break. Y'all didn't hear it. No time passed for you, the listener. But next is Josh's pick. So Josh, why don't you take it away?
This is 2005 Shuhei Morita film, Kakurenbo, Hide and Seek. When I heard that this episode was about animated shorts, I was like, great, I don't have to think about it. It's going to be Kakurenbo, Hide and Seek. So when I was a kid, I think 14. This aired, as far as I know, one time on Adult Swim on Halloween in 2005. And I was just, for whatever reason, it was very popular in high school. I was not doing anything on Halloween. But it played, Kakurenbo aired on Adult Swim, the dub, of course. And it just like permanently like rewired my brain, like the visuals, the concept, just the entire presentation of it, completely just like, I'm probably editorializing, but I feel like I was just looking at the TV like slack-jawed, watching this incredible little short film happen. So ever since then, it's been a huge like aesthetic inspiration of mine. I think it's aged remarkably well over 22 years or so. I love the dub. I love the sub. I can't say that about every piece of animation that I've seen. Yeah, I mean, it's just, for me, it's just one of those like cornerstone bits of art that just like you hit randomly as a teenager, and then you're just kind of stuck with it forever. And that's Kakurenbo for me.
Damn, love that.
Yeah, it's funny. I also wasn't super popular in high school and had watched lots of Adult Swim. But I must have missed it on that night because I had never even heard of this. That is like, this is such a watch it at 1 a.m. on Adult Swim kind of show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have a very soft spot in my heart for that, so I like it a lot.
Yeah, and this is also computer animated situation. I think they use it really well here. I was talking about having bags over your heads before as kind of a criticism, but I feel like here you've got a group of kids all wearing masks, and it goes in line with the kind of traditions of kind of yokai in a way, and also like kind of hide and seek, which we're dealing with here, and I think,
and it makes it easier to animate voices.
Yeah,
for sure.
Right.
But everybody looks super cool.
I don't know. It's amazing promise of kind of this cell shaded approach that, like you're saying, Josh. I mean, this still holds up so beautifully, and you could imagine this kind of pointing the way for people. Like, I don't know. I think we still see a lot of this sort of flavor right now, but there's also, I don't know, just this beautiful sense of like color and light and shadow that feel completely informed by, kind of like 90s anime. And I don't know, this is a great sweet spot. Love this.
I think one of the reasons, to Carlos's point, I think one of the reasons why to me this movie still looks so good is it's because of the masks. I think like somebody on the animation team is like, we got to make sure you never see a mouth flap. I don't want to see a mouth in this whole movie.
Right.
And I think very wisely they're like, let's just it works thematically that they're all wearing masks, but like I think that's what keeps it sort of like in like the artistic CRISPR drawer. Is just like there's no like awkward facial rigs to sort of like remind you that this is from the aughts.
And the narrative too. They gave you just enough breadcrumbs to lead you to something interesting, but the rest is you just kind of living in a world for 20 minutes, and you're like, these are some kids. Some of them seem like troublemakers. Some of them seem kind of mysterious. There's like a pair of twins that you don't really know about, and you're just given enough in this short to kind of unlock a door to a world that you haven't seen before. And and then even
just utterly sticking the ending. I mean,
I was gonna say that too. The like couple of characters that you kind of understand their names and what their kind of motivations are, that all gets sealed up. There's a perfect little bow on it, but at the same time it leads you towards like, kind of this interesting, almost Twilight Zone-ish kind of ending that I really feel like they just hit it perfect. And I had been aware of it, but it's completely thanks to you, Josh, in my many years of knowing you and hearing about it.
One guy,
and you guys did cover it on Swimfans, and that was the push that made me check it out, and I really enjoyed it. And you were talking about both the Japanese and the English voice cast, and I had a funny moment when I heard a voice. I was like, oh wait, that's Naruto. The main kid is literally like the Junko Takeuchi who plays Naruto, but not just, for me, I'm a Street Fighter fan, so Rainbow Mika is the same voice actress, and pretty recognizable voice there. But I believe, Matthew had the same kind of experience.
That's on the dub side, the main character is voiced by Michael Saturniclaus, who is Dean Venture.
Nice.
The fifth demon.
And he's also he does a lot of anime stuff too, especially in this time. He's the main guy in Summer Wars as well.
Gotcha.
And he has a very distinctive voice. So when I heard, I was like, why do I know that guy's voice? And like, oh, it's Dean.
It occurs to me now that Dean Venture is sort of like this the same kind of like wimpy male protagonist, like Summer Wars, like Kakurenbo.
Yeah. Totally.
Dean Venture's anime for real.
Totally.
The cast is stacked. Like Yaimo, the kid who's, God, I don't want to. I felt gay about this movie. Just get out of the way. Okay, look, there's other ways to read Yaimo and Hikaru's relationship. I get it, but like it's also crazy to like die for your homie. Like I don't know, like you didn't have, like you could have, you could have run away. Anyway, so like, but like Yaimo,
this was like your original mask fishing experience.
It was like my original. It was an early ship for sure. Because I saw this as a young teenager. But yeah, sorry, I just had to expel that from my body. But the Yaimo voice actor is the guy, I don't know any of their names, but it's the guy who plays Yami Yugi in the Yu-Gi-Oh dub, and he's giving an extremely Yugi performance in this movie. Like,
yeah,
I think
totally.
I think he's like, I'm not going to make up a new guy. I'm just going to use Yugi. I hope that's cool.
Right.
I am pretty curious about the like showing it just once on TV. It's so interesting to me. It's like a huge flex, but I mean, I don't know, because like the dubbing cast is like, you know, all the kind of preeminent voice actors of the time. You know, like Goku's voice is in it from like the dub of Dragon Ball Z, and it's just really interesting to me that they were like, yeah, let's just throw it out there once and never show it again. And I honestly too, it's never received like an HD release. It's
a crime, man.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
If you, the listener, want to watch this movie, you can find it on YouTube, but it's like $4.80. And like this movie is like, especially for like 2005, is like packed with detail. Like the sets are really detailed. And you know,
monster design's great.
Yeah, the monster designs are really complicated, and so there's all of this like really fine detail that you wish you could see more of. So when I got my first animation job, I spent $70 on a DVD copy of Kakurenbo Hide and Seek.
I love that. Is that the rip you shared with us?
Yes, which as far as I know, I think 720 is the highest quality it exists in. Shuhei Morita, please release a Blu-ray.
Yeah, he's really gone on to do some interesting work too. He worked on Tokyo Ghoul. He worked on the reason that when I was looking him up, the thing that I remembered is there's an anthology series called Short Piece, which actually Short Piece has like a military short called A Farewell to Weapons, if I'm remembering right. And that was one of the segments of Memories that was cut out. They never added it to Memories, but they ended up later on doing it for Short Piece. But he did a feature called Possession, which is also kind of like a yokai situation where this young man's like fighting against like discarded items that are like coming to life. It's cel shaded also, and a little a central focus of like a specific situation in a kind of similar way but different. I guess I wouldn't say if you like this you like that, but I think if you have an appreciation for like the aesthetics of Kakurenbo, you might appreciate stuff in Possession as well.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, Short Piece is cool. I think it's not as strong as like Memories to me, but I really love any of these like type of anthologies where you've got different artists really kind of, they're working together, but also they're kind of competing in a way. So everything ends up looking cool and different than each other. Robot Carnival is one of the things that honestly, it's one of like those punch list items that I'm surprised I haven't forced you guys to watch yet.
I think Memories and that were neck and neck.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think I love both of those in a lot of different ways. But anyways, Short Piece I think was released here by like one of these, like either Discotheque or somebody released them. So yeah, Kakurenbo is a perfect choice for something like a Discotheque to grab and upscale and release nowadays. Who got to talk to?
No, absolutely.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, awesome choice. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you for any excuse to talk about Kakurenbo. Very excited, of course.
Yeah, and I can't remember if that was a Patreon episode or not. But either way, if you're interested in hearing more talk about this, you should check out Swimfans episode on it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll link to that as well. Also, one quick note, I did love in the subtitles, the very last line is the possessed girl saying, "Now you're it." But it has a nice note that says Oni means both demon and it in tag.
It's like a classic like fan subber, like all according to Keikaku. Keikaku means plan type moment. It's very nostalgic to me. It's like if you missed the central like I don't want to say joke, but the central like metaphor of the movie. Here it is spelled out for you perfect. In the last moment. Yeah.
I love it. I mean, I'm glad it's there because I wouldn't have known that.
No, absolutely.
So.
Yeah, for real.
And so that leads us now to our last short, and that is Marty's pick. You want to take it away, Marty?
Yeah. So we also watched In the Shadow of the Cypress, which was directed by Hossein Molayemi and Shirin Sohani. And I think they finished it. I think it was first screened in Iran in 2023, but it was part of the sort of 2024 festival circuit. And I got to see this at Tribeca. I worked on an animated short that was there. And they they totally won our block, and yeah, we were all just very, very moved by the thing. And then it actually went on to win the Oscar that year.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a beautiful little meditation of a film, not totally uncommon in the kind of the world of animated shorts, but it's essentially sort of fully nonverbal. And yeah, this beautiful visual language that's like, I don't know, maybe like a more earnest version of the kind of like corporate motion graphics kind of by way of like Ezra Jack Keats or something. But yeah, I don't know. I love the point of view of this thing. It ends up kind of grappling ultimately with some pretty intense trauma, and you're sort of never sure how close or far you are sort of from reality. At least that's the kind of the feeling that I have. This kind of
totally
central little device in it is that there's this beached whale that washes up while the two main characters are in the thick of like a very intense conflict, and that incident ends up bringing up all these like traumatic memories for the main character, and you have kind of this nice, in some ways like small little goal of how to kind of get this beached whale to safety. But yeah, anyways, curious what you guys thought, because kind of an interesting one.
I began watching this and I was ready to take some notes, and I did not take any notes at all. I just let it wash over me. And I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the visuals, the kind of minimalist, very, I guess, children's cartoon character designs here. Actually saying children, I guess that just popped in my head, but I do feel like this does like a very delicate dance in a way where it handles very adult themes, but also delivers this in a way that you could kind of show this to anybody, and they would not just understand it, but I feel like they would feel emotions towards it. I like the score a lot. And I liked, this is another basically 20-minute short that really feels like a full meal of a narrative. And really impressed with it. Really moved in the way that I felt like I wasn't being manipulated to be moved. I feel like it was a very genuine way to tell a story about trauma, and I didn't feel like it was like baiting me to like win them an award. I was really, really taken by the short, and I'm super, super glad we included it today.
I love the like texture of everything, because I think that's what puts it over the top from like that kind of corporate art style, whatever, is that like everything has like this extra layer of texture on it. And I love how it kind of uses a cartoony kind of language to it of things that like would be normally used in like, SpongeBob or something for comedy as like a way of exaggeration, but to tell like a more serious thing. Like whenever
Right.
whenever the guy, the kind of father figure gets pushed over and he shatters on the ground.
Yeah.
And
oh my
like
God.
that totally feels like it could be a gag, but instead it's used to show, in a not so subtle metaphor that he's a broken person.
Right.
And deals with, a kind of more serious stuff using that same kind of cartoon language.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that this movie, maybe this and Nobody are like the ones that just like feel like I don't know, speak the language of animation the most to me. Like, I think there are so many fun visual metaphors, which of course the movie needs because there's no dialogue. So like, I love trying to figure this movie out. Like the movie begins and, we come to find out the father figure, we can tell that he's having like a PTSD episode because he like floods blue. And I was trying to figure out like, is that, I don't know. I was like, is it mental illness? Is it like some sort of addiction problem? And then, the movie makes it clear that it seems to be some sort of like trauma reaction. But I mean, sort of like Matthew said, there's almost like a comicalness to it. Like it just sort of like floods his face, and then a switch flips and he becomes like another person while he has this episode. I think like of the four, I mean, I think the compositing in this is really special. I think the final picture is really beautiful. Of the four, I think it might be the most like lush to me. Yeah, I think this is pretty special. I love that. I think this movie is like 3D, but with these really great like 2D kind of shaders on it where you really can't tell.
I love that you say that because I was playing that game where I was trying to guess.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but like I'm pretty sure it's 3D, but without, but like with these really like this whatever boutique like shader setup they have on, so it like feels 2D or that sort of like vector style, like you guys were saying. But yeah, I mean the shape language is so elegant. The way that they use the medium, I think, really sets it apart. Like I also love that moment when he shatters. I love the like sort of extended bit when he's like falling into like the mind abyss, right? And he's like just sort of like turning all jaggedy inside there. So like, I mean, there's so many like expressive touches that I think, we even from some pretty good movies we've already talked about, like that this one really stands apart from.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I'm super glad we included it. We almost didn't. We weren't sure. And it wasn't that we were considering it or not, but Marty added it in the last minute, and I was like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah,
it was one that I remembered seeing clips of, like not too long after it won the Oscar. Again, was another one of those where I was like, oh, that's cool, I should look for it, and then never did. So.
and yeah, not to get into like a overly long tangent or whatever, but also
please,
I think it's it's a real gift for us to be engaging with any Iranian art.
Oh my God, for sure.
At the time of recording, and actually even back in 2024, that was actually the only filmmaking team that wasn't able to come to New York because there were actually visa issues. And at the time, and they were able to attend the Oscars, luckily. But anyways, real great. Extremely grateful for this, and love hearing everybody's thoughts here.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it could be really easy for us to just go into a spiral of what's going on, and I mean, honestly, like us not having an episode for a little while, kind of is in a way tied to
tangentially related
the
to
world that we're living in right now. But I've been thinking about these things a lot, and of course, just like everybody else, just waiting to see what's going to happen next in our world. But one of the things I really am reminded about constantly and am rewarded in is finding connections in all the media that we like. And
Yeah.
I think about Heroes 3, we started this podcast. It's like a fun little thing to do, and it still is, and I love it. But I think the most rewarding thing that I can say about it is understanding how everything is connected and understanding how different cultures and the pop culture that we consume is always informed by other things that we like. And I think we're living in a world where I think I feel we should try to appreciate that even more than we already do, because if I was living in a world where I couldn't understand other cultures and I was not interested in it and I lived my life just wanting to know about what I already know about, I would not be here right now.
Yeah.
I absolutely get the most enjoyment out of art and culture in knowing,
like you wouldn't recognize that person. It's like it's such a I mean,
I don't know,
your
it's
identity's so
sad.
much with that.
Like it's a sad way to live your life. Like there's
Yes.
so much incredible beauty in the world, and there's so much richness in culture, and the big thing that everyone tries to tell you otherwise is we're actually pretty similar.
Yeah.
Like everyone around the world, we're pretty dang similar.
Yeah, they wouldn't be spending billions of dollars to convince you otherwise if it wasn't the truth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
There's kind of two groups of people in the world, and one of them is about 1,000 people that own most of the wealth and power, and then there's literally everyone else in the world, and guess what? You're one of them. So
yeah, things are cool.
anyways, this is the new socialist podcast we're starting.
Things are cool.
Comrades
and
3 is what it's
Comrades
called.
3, let's go.
It's fun to learn about cool things.
It is.
It's fun to eat good food. It's fun to listen
It
to
is
good
fun to eat
music.
good food.
Like,
Yeah.
just
word.
enjoy your life learning about new things.
Yeah.
I'll
It's
say
awesome.
like specifically to this episode as well, like we are truly living in like a really special time for animation globally. There are like animation centers popping up in places that you wouldn't have expected. Like there is a big scene developing in Brazil. There's a big scene developing in Nigeria. And I just saw. This isn't the. I'm not pretending this is the first one, but I just saw the first South Korean, like the director. The whole team is from South Korea. At that animation festival 2 years ago. And so there's, because, there have been South Korean animators for decades, but they're, paid very little to do other people's shows. But like, this is like like an auteur project. There's an auteur scene developing there. So like, this is truly like such a time for like world animation. And like the reason that, I mean, I host a primarily live action movie podcast by choice, but I think animation is such a special medium because it does, I think it connects with you on a different level. Like once you know that you're watching Artifice from the beginning, you can get at things like sentimentality and truth and these sort of like fundamental human concepts that it's easy to bounce off of in live action if not executed just right. But animation has this disarming power that is so human, and it's I don't know, I could wax poetic about it forever, but like it's so cool to be living in a time where the animation industry is so globalized, and like there are places booming with it that aren't, the US, Japan, and France. It's like there are new scenes, new modes of expression, and it's exciting.
Man, I am pumped to see Brazil over the next 20 years because it is so primed to be like full of animation, full of film and video games. Oh my God, there's going to be so many cool video games coming out of Brazil in the next 10 years.
Oh, awesome.
Like it's been building up and building up over decades.
This was great today, guys. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there any other final thoughts? That seems pretty good to me.
I mean, this has really helped me get ready to be excited. I mean, I already am excited for what we're going to be up to, but yeah, this is sorely needed, and I really am thankful for you.
Thanks for inviting me. I was staring at the Cintiq all day today, being like, "Why isn't this working? I hate drawing. I hate cartoons. This fucking sucks." So it was a good reminder of things that I love.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you so much for
could
joining
not
us,
have done
Josh.
it without you, Josh. This is
We'll start there. Josh, what do you you are our guest. What do you have anything to plug or anywhere people should go?
Yeah, I'm sure most Heroes 3 listeners by now have been forced to become aware of mine, Jennifer Hawking and Craig Neeson's podcast, Swimfans. We are a genre film podcast, and what you might not know is that very recently we have made a shift to like a new sort of modality for a while, where we are sort of picking through our like to watch lists, like things that you've always been meaning to get around to and haven't yet. Because I think we're all a bit tired of erotic thrillers for now. So we just want to talk about movies that people might have actually seen or maybe would see. So yeah, if you, I would say it's never been a more approachable time to come listen to Swimfans. To hear Craig, Jen, and I talk, the Heroes 3 guests are on as often as we can force them. So, that would be the main plug.
Yes, go listen to Swimfans.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys just released an episode on Cloud, Kiyoshi Kurosawa film, and
Love that guy.
Yeah, I was spying on you guys again, and we're gonna get some In the Mood for Love soon, and that's really exciting too.
Cannot wait.
Well, thank you so much for checking out our show. If you'd enjoyed it, then you can check us out on your social medias of choice: Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky. We're at Heroes the Number 3 podcast on all of those. Do you have a deeply weird and influential animated short that you watched at 1 a.m. as a teenager? Please let us know at heroes the number 3 podcast at gmail.com. And actually, I don't know what's about to happen.
Ooh.
Carlos, do you know what we're going to watch next week?
Yes, I do. I'm super excited
Amazing.
For this next one. This is a 2024 film called Ghost Killer, directed by Kensuke Sonomura and starring Akari Takaishi. So we haven't really talked about this kind of really fun new kind of take on action in Japanese cinema, and this is going to throw us right into it. And we will have a guest with us for this episode as well. So I'm really hyped for this one, and I'm hyped for you guys to see it.
Dude,
Very cool. Well, till next week, where we're taking a look at Ghost Killer. I'm Matthew.
I'm Marty.
I'm Carlos.
You can say it, Josh.
Oh, well, cool. And I'm Josh. Still.
I love Matthew always does this where he just silently waits. It's so good. Anytime there's a guest.
It's good. It's a show of dominance, and I appreciate it.
We're the Heroes 3 plus Josh. Remember your training. Heroes 3 is part of the Mercado Brothers Podcast Network.